You're listening to Grindhouse Courthouse, a show where we put movies on trial to determine whether or not it has committed too many movie misdemeanors to be considered viewable. Please rise for nobody, because this is a deposition episode. Enjoy! Should old shit movies be forgot and never brought to mind? Yeah, maybe fuck that awful shit and Days of Auld Lang Syne. Anyways, the worst movie was Van Helsing and the best movie was Kate and Leopold.
Disagree.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the end of season 2. You did it. We did it. We all did it. You listened. We talked. Congratulations to all of us. Now, we figured it would be fun to go back and say what the worst and the best movies that we encountered in season 2 were. And I know that you, the listener, have a lot of opinions, but those don't matter. Only our opinions matter.
That's right. Here on Grindhouse Courthouse, only our opinions matter, and we want the listener to know that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And let's start off with, I think, what is probably going to be the easiest thing to talk about. Let's do some worst movies, starting from the top left.
Whoa. We are getting way too ahead of ourselves. There's a lot more to this episode than the best and the worst movie. We're going to talk about the greatest scenes in these movies that we saw. We're going to talk about the stupidest plots. We're going to talk about so many other factors, but we are also going to decide which was the best and the worst movie, and we're going to start with that. Okay.
Are we going to be able to actually settle on a best? Because I feel that we're
no
just going to argue for 4.
No justification. You just say the movie, and this podcast will be 12 minutes.
It's the most efficient episode we've got yet. So, Adam, start us off here.
Okay.
No, wait. I think we should do the best first and the worst last.
Oh,
and the worst last?
Oh,
yes.
No.
Save the best for last, though.
I just girls. Okay.
Oh,
Save the best for last. That's an expression.
The worst.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. What do you want from me right now?
I want you to start, Adam.
Start what though? We're getting mixed messages. This is why.
What's the best one?
Start with the best.
Best.
What was
Adam,
your favorite?
Your incompetence is driving me insane.
As the audience can tell, we do not rehearse anything and we just dive into recording. Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite and best movie for season 2 was Bahubali 2.
Yeah!
Whoa! Wow.
Yes! Yes! Dave and I are... Is Matt on the same page too?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to say
so it's
that.
just Dave and myself. Okay, that's fantastic.
I just wanted to say that because it's fun.
Do you want me to go through the reasons of why I think this was probably the best movie that we watched this season, or are we going to go around first?
Well, we know that 2 of you are wrong.
All right.
Dylan, what was your best movie?
Okay, we'll just go around and then we'll circle back and then we'll give justification. So this was a long, hard one. So I think I'm still on the fence, but ultimately I'm going to go with Prince of Darkness.
What? Oh my goodness! Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
I actually thought you were going to pick Triangle. I don't know why. I really thought you were going to be a Triangle guy.
I thought you were going to pick Congo. I thought Congo was going to be your favorite.
No, Congo has my favorite scene, but Congo is not my favorite movie. I genuinely enjoyed. So here's the problem. I think Triangle is probably the best movie, but I'd seen it before, so I'd ruined it all for myself. Whereas a second viewing of Prince of Darkness was the most enjoyable movie experience. So I don't know where that fits, but anyway, that's my
That's fine. We'll keep it going. Dave, what was we know yours, but do you at least want to say it?
Bollywood movies are the greatest thing to come out of the movie world in the last 10 years, I feel like. So
Ooh.
Okay, that's a bold statement. Matthew.
I'm kind of on the fence like Dylan. I actually am going to say Triangle was my favorite movie. I'm going all the way then Triangle. All the way. Just like Ben Affleck. into the triangle. No, actually, Prince of Darkness was pretty close for me, but that's a movie that I didn't think it was that great at the time, and then I've just thought about it more, and it's gotten better as I've
Well, you had
thought
time to
about
crunch the numbers, and you realized all the physics works out.
I actually took all those screenshots. Here's the thing. They had all of those partial differential equations.
God, the devil did invent these things.
Did you pause the screen every time you could and wrote them down and solved them yourself?
Thank goodness we had one fewer variable than the number of PDEs than we needed, so we can solve it. That's the universe right there.
Matt's been staying up all night. He's been crunching the numbers. And then his wife walks in. Matt, what are you doing? The baby needs you. He's crying. And he goes, wife, I hate to break it to you, but look at, and she sees this wall of formulas and it all equals 6, 6, 6. And she goes, oh my God.
I think it equals 23.
Shit. Stay tuned for next season, listeners.
Shit. Oh, man.
That's a spoiler.
Tom,
what was your favorite movie?
And like, I'm not happy about it, but after weighing out all the variables very carefully over a period of months and not 30 seconds, it's Kate and Leopold.
You piece of shit.
That was the best movie that we watched.
such a lie.
I would
Such
love
a
to
liar.
pick Prince of Darkness. It was very close, but that movie is batshit insane. Nothing in it makes any sense.
But
Unlike Kate and Leopold, which is very measured, very structured.
time travels by jumping off a bridge.
I have learned some things about Kate Leopold since we watched it, so I'll be happy when we cycle back and talk about why Tom likes it so much.
Oh,
But
boy, I'm very excited. Well, it wins by default, but like all the other movies are dog shit because I couldn't pick Power Rangers. Like, that's not gonna win. So it had to be Kate Leopold. Yeah!
and Goldar will be making an appearance later in this episode, so everyone calm yourselves.
Everyone stay tuned.
Yeah, he might get into an argument with Sean Connery, the Spanish Egyptian Highlander. We'll see. We'll see. We send these invites out. We don't know who's going to show up. You never know, and it's really hard since one of the characters is in fact dead. But we'll see.
We still try.
Okay, Adam. Why, Adam? Why?
Yeah. Explain yourself.
Why did I like Bahubali 2?
Okay,
Yes.
and Dave, you can jump in. You can jump in and kind of add to what Adam's saying, since you both picked the same movie.
I think the main thing that stood out for me for this movie was the fact that it just had a lot of charm. And I was trying to compare all the movies that we watched for season 2. And this is probably one that I would go back and watch. But now thinking of Prince of Darkness, I would probably go back to that now. But this one had a certain sense of charm.
Oh, so you just changed your answer? Okay,
No,
great.
no,
Prince of Darkness
no.
wins. Unequivocally.
This one had such a level of charm where I was smiling for the first 15 minutes. Like I was checking my notes from when we actually did that episode. And I just remember I was smiling for the first 15 minutes because it's just so over the top. You have this just huge action scenes that are taking place. It feels like an epic. You have these, again, over the top characters.
Great dance numbers.
Yeah, the
singing was great.
The costumes were amazing. The sets were amazing. Like I quickly went through on Netflix just to double check it while preparing this. And it was just like, anytime you pause the shot, you're just like, this is amazing. Like a lot of money went into this production and it shows. Also the last 45 minutes, like the idea of having Bahubali 2 at the 3/4 or like, yeah, the 3/4 mark, just like killing the main character and then starting again with its son. Like so bold.
Is there another movie out there that does that type of cut?
I can't.
No
think of
movie
anything.
does that. No other movie does that.
And that's what stands out. And that's what puts it higher on the totem pole for me. I think it just has multiple levels to it, and it has that charm that I really enjoyed, and it stood out for me. So that's why my reasons for picking Bahubali.
Kind of Psycho does it. Psycho kind of does it. Like it kills who you think is the main character pretty early.
Yeah.
Not to be replaced by herself in the same movie. So not exactly. But I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing quite like that.
Oh, I forgot about the characters too. The characters were fantastic. That uncle, so evil. In the first 5 minutes of his speech, he's like, "What if we killed the queen?" He's like, "Bud, you can't say stuff like that." It just dives right in. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. But I'll stop. Dylan.
Yeah, for me, the movie was just fun. I was having fun the whole time we were watching it, and that was enjoyable. Because like other movies we watched, I wasn't having
I
that.
don't have fun.
You don't like movies that pound your dick into the dirt and you're just struggling to get through it? That's so strange.
Like Kate and Leopold, yeah, I was struggling with that one.
We'll get to Kate Leopold.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll prove to you without a shadow of a doubt that Kate Leopold is
Tom,
the best movie.
If you can explain to me about the whole elevator shenanigans
we'll get to elevator
properly,
shenanigans.
I will jump on that movie and be on your side.
I'm definitely not about to redirect the conversation away from the elevator and back to Bahubali so that we never have to cover it. But okay, so have you seen Bahubali 1?
Yeah.
You did watch it. You watched the whole thing.
Yeah. I ended up watching it just because. So I think I watched it right after we did Bahubali 2, just to understand what was going on, the son's story. And again, if someone was to do a cut of both those movies together and maybe edit it a bit so it is only just 3 hours, both movies, that'd be fantastic.
Can you maybe fill? There might be some viewers who didn't watch or listen to the episode of Bahubali, like the craziness that is that plot line between 1 and 2, how the stories fit together, because it's not linear in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Bahubali 2 follows.
Maybe start with 1. Just
And
You can't.
maybe start with what? But that I can't because that's his son.
but it helps clarify. It helps clarify how the director has structured the chronology. I know chronologically it's 2, but you have to start with the first movie.
Damn it!
Yeah.
you're making this challenging today.
So
I'm
the first
so
one's
tired.
about the son finding out he is
Yes.
his birthright, basically, and going out to avenge his parents.
Yeah.
It's his
Right.
journey, him
Yeah.
coming to his title, realizing his
And
responsibilities.
surely
like,
they put the ending of that movie within that film, right?
Yeah, the ending of them getting to the main battle and then cutting it.
and cutting it so
Hard
Bahubali
cut.
2 can start with the father's story. So you get that interesting tale, how the son is born, how the father falls. Hard cut into Bahubali 1.
Yeah, so when you're watching
And
a
then
movie,
come back
don't you want that backstory of why they're so mad and why it's leading to this?
I personally loved watching Star Wars when you see that lead up to Luke flying to the Death Star, and then you have to watch 9 other movies, and then the Death Star
God, I have to watch
explodes.
Phantom Menace right now. That's a good way of summing it up. But I think I wasn't expecting that, and I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. I had no idea that
Also,
was
you
what
can-
was going on.
You can watch 2 without 1 and be
Yes,
totally
but you
fine.
cannot watch 1 and be satisfied at all.
That is fair.
Even-
That is fair.
Yeah, I guess we were satisfied with 2, but it definitely threw us for a loop. We're just like, what is happening? What is happening? Oh my God.
Well, it doesn't help that the main character dies, and then his son, who is played by the same actor, appears, and we hadn't watched the first one, and we have like major cultural barriers. So we're like, what the fuck is happening?
And just because it did that, like it went out into left field for me, I'm just happy. It broke the typical structure of movies where you're just like, okay, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. It was just something new, and it was very refreshing. So again, high up on the list for me.
A little too high, probably.
Maybe.
I mean, if we're all being honest
No,
here,
it's in the right spot. I
Kate
believe.
Leopold is the right choice. But, I guess we'll respect Bahubali.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan.
Yeah.
You liked a movie. I didn't like it so much. But Prince of Darkness. What stood out? Why Prince of Darkness? And not Kate and Leopold.
Okay, I'll do that specifically because Kate and Leopold cut out the essential information for why the fuck Liv Schreiber was going back in time and following this guy around, because some studio exec said, he's committing incest, right? And then they had to cut all the explanation of why Liv Schreiber is following around this fucking guy. And they caught it at the last second, so that's why I didn't like Kate Leopold. But why I did like The Prince of Darkness was with the second viewing, when I knew what was going on, I was just trying to pay attention to the crazy ideas that Carpenter had just strung together, which, I mean, it's just endless sources of entertainment trying to figure out John Carpenter's psyche, writing, directing, composing the music for every movie he's ever directed. And I really get to a level of like psychoanalysis with him that I can't possibly get with any other actor or director, producer, whatever, because he's in control of everything and everything is him. And this one was, it was just the prime example of everything Carpenterian. And for some reason, I could watch it a second time and got so much new experience out of it. So I think that was the key. It's a lot of these movies I've seen once before. The ones I haven't were just, I didn't enjoy them. But this one, it hit a few notes for me. I love this kind of like cosmic horror stuff, even when it's done poorly, which he did very poorly. Don't get me wrong. He did it very poorly.
we all agree on that one.
But
was there any scene that stood out the second time viewing it? Or?
I was just laughing my ass off with the shitty acting. Like the acting was so unbelievably bad watching the second time around. Because the first time around, I was trying to keep track of the plot. Now that I know the plot, basically, I was just watching like how the actors interacted, and I'm like, I just got so entertained by their weird choices. And probably the best scene was Victor Wong rambling in the beginning with like unconnected, like pseudo philosophic ideas that clearly John Carpenter was like drunk or on cocaine one night and was just like scribbling things down. And it sounds smart.
This is it.
But the more you think about it, it makes no sense. But the way that Victor Wong delivers it is so great, which is, a shame that it's still only his second best performance from movies we watched this season. But you can't compete with the greatest movie of all time.
The thing is,
I thought they were really like basic statements though, and he was trying to make them very profound. Like, didn't he just like straight up say time was linear at one point?
Oh, he said a lot of things.
Just very
well, he's saying it to like a bunch of grad students, ostensibly, right? Like people who are very close to being at his level of expertise. And he's just like, all humans experience time as a flat triangle. And you're going, whoa, is this building to anything? And then the movie ends.
But the thing is, the one thing I do respect about it is that movie was set in a period where we didn't have computers to do research. John Carpenter couldn't Google quantum physics. He couldn't Google.
Can call the university and talk to a professor.
But like that right there, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, he could, but he didn't. And that's why we respect him.
But like, I'm imagining John Carpenter on his weekend going, I've got this idea. And he goes to his public library and there's a homeless guy in the corner. It smells like piss. And he's grabbing all these physics books and he's sitting down for a good 30 minutes.
That homeless man,
reading.
Alice Cooper.
You want to be in my movie?
And he's just,
Can I bring my half bicycle? Yeah. Okay.
As long as you impale somebody.
But like he had to do some type of homework. Like there was enough of an interest that it drove him to make this movie. And I think I respect that because during that time, you couldn't just quickly Google search something and be like, that's my answer, and then throw it into a movie. He actually had to put in the work.
Yeah. What were the books that like you would always get when you're from the bathroom? Like there's like that specific toilet.
Chicken soup for the soul.
There we go. Those books.
Yeah.
No,
That's what John Carpenter had.
I fully believe that he had a magazine where someone like quickly summed up all these ideas and he's like, I'll do some more research. And he like found one physics textbook and was like, I'm not reading all this shit. I got a movie to make. Okay, you stand over there and make mouth trumpet noises.
Yeah, I clearly remember that one story from Chicken Soup for the Soul where my 6th grade teacher would just read about how the super devil encapsulated his son and Jesus was a humanoid alien. I clearly remember when Mrs. Wong read that to us.
Cristo Domino. That's all I got to say about that movie.
It's amazing. He was amazing. He didn't even have access to the Deepak Chopra automatic quote generator to write all of the text for this movie.
That would have saved him.
Let's see what it has to say.
Hit us with some wisdom.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Some deep lore is he actually made that.
Oh my God. Well, Dave, the Higgs boson gives rise to a symphony of opportunities.
That could have been in the movie. That could have easily been a line from Victor Wong.
Makes a lot of sense, right? Yep. You don't even have to think about it. Our consciousness transcends unique external reality.
That was actually in the movie.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Our logic, common sense breaks down at the subatomic level, which is emphasized routinely in this movie and then has no bearing on the plot.
Do you wanna? I got a news article the other day about John Carpenter, and apparently he is still considering making a third Escape from
He should.
movie. He wants to do Escape from Earth.
Oh.
With, Kurt Russell.
That's called Ghosts of Mars, and he had his shot, and he fucking blew it.
It was a bit on the nose with it, but I hope he's just like, yeah, let's just do this. Let's get back in the studio.
John, what's your idea? All right, get this. The world is ruled by a matriarchy. Oh, really? Is this going to have a major impact on the plot? Oh, yeah, just wait. Okay, so they sail in on a hot air balloon, and then another guy's in a hang glider, and then there's this other group of guys, and they got 24 hours because they've been poisoned, and the president's on Mars. Oh, my God, that's fucking genius. Here's $40 million. Please cast and Kurt Russell.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, can you imagine the Desolation Williams and Snake Plissken dynamic duo together? Two of the same characters doing the same things. Whoa.
Great. All right, but enough about me.
Yeah.
Matthew. Triangle. Triangle was my favorite movie. And here's why. I often imagine what it would be like if I encountered a future version of myself that told me I had to kill the four of you if I ever wanted to see my son again. And then that's what I saw in this movie in Triangle. And it just really struck a chord with me.
Well, you're saying you'd boomerang a shotgun at yourself? I don't know.
It would work.
Matt, you're supposed to kill the other four, and all you've been doing is making out with your body double this whole time. Shut up. He's so beautiful.
I need to explore this.
When am I going to get this chance again, okay?
Yeah, you need to return to your son. He'll be trapped on this boat forever. You guys just don't get me.
I think we had a conversation like offline about this where if any of us ever gets stuck into a time loop or some type of like time paradox, you immediately blurt it out. Where it's just like, Dylan, time paradox, kill me. And then you can run away and it just makes sense. There's no questioning it. You have all the information up front.
I love my response to Dylan, time paradox. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm just gonna run out of here, run out of this time paradox. Then whoever's orchestrating this time paradox, well, we didn't think he'd run. We didn't plan for that.
I didn't think he'd just leave.
You didn't think he'd just leave.
Look, he's swimming off the boat. Someone's... Oh, fuck.
He made it.
He's out.
He's in the Florida Keys now. Shit.
But I noticed you picked Triangle over Ghost Ship, and that's
weird.
That's confusing to me.
I don't remember. What did I argue for? I don't even remember. Nobody can check the tape.
It's lost to time.
It's gone forever.
Yeah, it's gone forever. Yeah.
It's stuck in a time loop. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but we
look, it's Groundhog Day on a boat.
me and Matt had a perfect argument for why Triangle was one of the better time travel movies because of the playing with like post-traumatic stress and kind of how even from the beginning it all works.
Yeah.
Where
it even like if you watch it again, I watched it again and it was a different experience knowing that she knows that she's in a Groundhog Day and she's still going through with it anyway.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, but there was like there should have been like 100 broken cars on that road.
There should have been 1 million dead birds. Why did the birds stay, but the cars didn't?
There's some holes.
Organic material.
There's
Also, perhaps, but you don't know when the time loop resets. So there could be enough time in the time loop for them to clear the road, get rid of all this stuff, and then the time loop happens, which they're not doing for the birds on the side of the road. I just solved it.
Who gives a shit about some motherfucking birds?
Whoa.
That's
here on Grindhouse Courthouse, we do not support that kind of hatred of our feathered friends.
Except for ducks.
All animals were either dummies, CGI, or something. No harm came to any animals.
Or pigeons.
Yeah. Duck lives matter. That's all we got to say about that.
Ducks unlimited. All right. Next.
Can we all agree that Triangle was better than Ghost Ship right now?
Oh, yeah.
I think we all did.
I mean, now that I don't have to talk about Carl Urban shoveling beans into his mouth. Yeah, I think Triangle is a little bit better. At least it had more thought put into it than like, what if a ship had ghosts?
I don't even remember the instigating curse of the boat. Like, what the fuck was the boat? Why did everyone become ghosts again?
There's
because there was some gold that may or may not have been tied to Satan, ? And then the guy was like bringing, he gets the gold and then the people want the gold and then he kills the people to get the souls back to hell.
Yeah.
Back to hell.
He's a soul collector.
pretty much.
Just one of them old soul collectors.
To the boats.
He's looking for the dark soul.
But he's soul magic. That's what it is. It's a lot of soul magic. I believe that Ghost Ship ended with Soul NATO, but that's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is how great Kate and Leopold was.
Go for it.
Just by the rules of exclusion. It was the most competent movie outside of the incest and elevator shit. If you take those two things out of the equation, you just remove them, that is the most competent movie that we watched. Hugh Jackman was fine.
But the elevator thing was so connected to that movie, it bugged me.
It wasn't really.
Hugh Jackman.
Like, I mean, you could have stripped the elevator shit out and just had like a lighthearted adventure of a guy trying to...
Tom,
If the elevator was not like missing, what's his name would never have fallen down the elevator shaft, and he would have been like the main driver.
He would have been in the movie? And?
He would have been.
That's okay. That's
There would have
fine.
been no love story, probably. And that's all that movie's about.
That's okay. I mean, like, I don't think the love story was particularly well written because they knew each other for a week and it was like, I'll fuck up my life to be with you.
but that's what this movie was all about, though. That's the problem, right? Like, it was this romance built off of nothing. Also, the fact that, like, none of the characters were very likable. Hugh Jackman was the only character that you liked throughout this movie. Everyone else was awful. So how does this work for you? Why did you really enjoy this movie?
I told you, it's by process of exclusion.
It's everything else more.
Right? I mean, like, I can't vote for Bahubali. Anything else more? Bahubali can't win because you have to watch 2 movies and then rearrange them in your brain and then filter out like 4 hours worth of content to get to something good.
Fair enough.
Prince of Darkness can't win because it's John Carpenter and it's batshit. Like, I love it, but come on, you can't be doing that. And Triangle can't win
Because the birds.
because I just don't. Because the birds. I mean, if we're being honest, my entire reason for not liking Triangle was the birds. Like, some of the time travel rules don't make perfect sense. Unlike all of my favorite time travel movies, like Back to the Future 1, 2, 3, Terminator 1, 2, 3, where all the time travel rules are just rock solid and make perfect sense.
I can't believe you threw Terminator 3 in there. That's the first time I've ever heard you actually like acknowledge that movie.
It exists. It happened. We have to acknowledge that it's real. The only reason why that movie exists is because Arnold was like, there should be a real sexy lady Terminator, and you get to see her naked. Look it up. That's an interview. He said it. You can't undo it. But Kate and Leopold, like, I don't love the movie. If you run back the tape and listen to the earlier episode, like, I know all the viewers are just scrambling to hit pause right now and go back and listen to it. It's not a good movie. It's just the best of the worst.
You just infringed some copyright right there, and we're going to have to bleep that out. Anyway.
Yeah, we have to bleep that out. Thanks, Tom.
Do you think Rich Evans is a litigious person?
Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
That's all he lives for. Anyway, so what are the characters in that? Because here's the thing for me. Is Liv Schreiber a piece of shit? Mostly no. But remember that one fucking line where he's like,
No.
You wasted your life on me or something? No, what did she say? She said, I wasted the best years of my life on you. He's like, those were your best years, which is like, ooh, that burns. And you're kind of like, so is he an asshole?
Oh, well, everyone in the movie's an asshole.
Okay, but then the guy who should be the asshole, the guy who Hugh Jackman criticizes at dinner, he's kind of not in the end, right? Because he gives her the job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's a high-powered executive who, like, will try and sleep with women. He'll try and sleep with women, but then he'll give them the job anyways because he's such a nice guy. Harvey Weinstein is misunderstood, okay? He's not the villain, despite all those many villainous things that he did for decades and all the lives he destroyed.
And then it all comes back to why didn't Leopold stay in the future? They have, okay, remember, in the past, Leopold's family is destitute and they have to marry him off to, what's her name? The hilarious actress.
Kristen Schaal.
Yeah, Kristen Schaal.
Oh,
they
Kristen
have to
Schaal.
marry him off to
Yeah.
Kristen Schaal because she comes from a wealthy family. They're broke. And Kate can't work because she's a woman in 1860 whatever. they're screwed. Whereas in the future, they were set. Kate just got this amazing job, and Leopold can sell fucking margarine.
But Dylan, if they
margarine
did that,
is hollow. It's empty. Yeah,
If they-
he would be without honor.
but also, you're missing the big thing. If they did that, there would be no elevators.
Yeah,
like
there'd only be elevator shafts, not
It
elevators.
all comes back to the elevator.
Why are there shafts? Why would they build shafts with nothing to put them in? Ergo,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Also, everyone understood what elevators were still.
bullshit.
Someone else could just invent it.
You can't do that. It's a time paradox, and I'm going to run away.
Look, all of these things are ridiculous, but are they as ridiculous as no cars being on the road or a man pushing elephants around with his bare hands?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know,
Yeah, it's like, where are you going with this? And then I realized
that's the
yeah.
intro
yes.
of Bahubali. Yeah, do you not remember your own movie, Adam? I'm so sorry.
It's a statue of an elephant. It wasn't an elephant, Tom.
Also,
There was a real elephant. I mean,
you said
real in
car.
the movie. No elephants
Oh,
were
yeah,
harmed.
and you criticize Bahubali. Do they have
that film.
superpowers or not? Beside that.
yeah.
I'm going to say yes. Yeah, I think a few people have to have like superhuman abilities.
Like
I don't want to say
demigods.
this. Yeah, demigods.
There's only one character with superhuman abilities in my movie, thus making it believable.
Okay. We can continue spinning around trying to argue why Kay and Leopold is not the best movie, but I think everybody has made valid claims for their movies. Do we want to get into
Yes.
the worst?
Yeah, and we're all going to say
Yeah.
the same one, so I don't
We're
know
gonna-
why we're doing this Tony show.
Exactly.
Do you think so? I really hope so.
All right, we'll go.
Dylan, do you want to do it?
Well, I'll say it at
Okay.
once because I think that's like
No.
really, it's nice. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Three
Ninjas.
Van Helsing.
You fucked us, Tom, yet again.
For 3 reasons. Colt, Tum Tum, another fucking kid.
Rocky.
There we go. That's it.
Somehow, Hulk Hogan and Jim Varney also sucked.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend here that Three Ninjas isn't a terrible film because it is. It's real bad. But can anyone tell me anything about Van Helsing? Just real quick. Any fact. Anything comes to mind.
Holy water can kill vampires.
We're still.
It's not really from Van Helsing, though. I mean, that's just sort of.
Yeah, is he puts the friggin' arrow launcher machine gun into the holy water
Yep.
and he kills the vampire chick.
Okay, so you remembered his machine gun.
Tom, this was the first attempt at the dark universe, where they have all of the famous creatures / monsters coming together, and they're trying to.
Okay, but that's about Warner Brothers and their fuck ups. That's not about Van Helsing.
yeah, that is. Well, that
It
Van
is a
Helsing put them all
thoroughly
together.
forgettable movie. Not like Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, which stars some of the greatest character actors of our time.
The whole plot in general. Not even the plot, just the evil the evil people's plot to make money bugs me.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. When I was trying to put up my notes for this, the things that stood out for me were kid actors. They're awful. We were all screaming while watching that movie just because of how bad Tum Tum was. The story makes no sense. The motive of the villains, it doesn't line up. Are they just in it for money? Yes. There's like 100 different ways that they could have gotten money. And they didn't even get a lot of money. They only got like one bag of that cash when like 10 were dropped down. And only the leader villain, the lady villain, Medusa, got the money and then got arrested immediately. What happened to her crew? Did they all blow up? Did they get washed away? Are they in the triangle right now? Who knows? It just it doesn't make any sense.
Jim Varney should have killed Rocky.
That's why-
That would have really heightened the stakes of that movie. And then the other ninjas have to deal with the fallout of that experience.
That's the thing. There's no stakes or consequences. The kids knew they were going to win from the start. If they would have been put into a challenging situation where maybe Tum Tum got kidnapped and they were down in numbers and Rocky and Cole were getting beat up, and then they trust some ninja skill that their grandpa had taught them, and that's where they turned it around. But like, there's nothing. You knew they were going to win every fight.
So
Falls flat.
I have a question. I wasn't there for this recording, but I need to know if you had to fight some little punks, how many could you take
Now, by little
By
punks,
yourself.
you mean children, Dave?
at one time? Yeah, little shit.
I could decimate dozens of children.
Yeah.
Are we in an amusement park? Can I use the environment to my advantage?
Yeah, you can pick anywhere in the world.
I would just go as long until I just collapse from exhaustion. So I don't know. It has nothing to do with the number of children, just like my own stamina, because they're not going to do anything to me. So I can't really give you a good answer.
Yeah, I think
I'll go punch a punching bag for like
same thing for me, but I can. So
when
30 seconds, 45 seconds. That's probably peak physical exertion there. Maybe a minute. Maybe I could do a minute.
You could probably spend 10 seconds like parrying their weak punches for a while, kind of catch your breath and then go back at it for a little bit. So
I guess like, are the kids coming at you one at a time, or are they just like circling?
No, they're all coming at you at the same time. I'm pretty sure you get like one slap tum tum, and then like the whole fight's pretty easy, right?
Slap him.
You know that
just spinning around, slapping,
Bam! And he's done.
you know that scene in Terminator 2 when Arnold Schwarzenegger picks up that kid by the overalls and just like holds him there and looks at him in the face? Now imagine if he just threw him across the room, and you could just do that. You could just do that to
Like
three
one
ninjas.
solid stomp or kick to the chest. The kid's just down, right?
Jesus, Dave.
You're
It's
sick,
getting a bit dark.
Kid violence.
bastard.
Lots. The answer is lots. We could take out lots.
Yeah.
More than those weird like nihilist German ninjas that were at the amusement park in this movie. I have a question here. I have a question for everyone. What do you guys think has the worst score on IMDb? Three Ninjas or Elfette Saves Christmas?
I think it's Three Ninjas. If I remember correctly, Three Ninjas had like 2.
I'm gonna say Alpha.
I knew Alpha.
Eases
I
out.
have the numbers here. Three Ninjas is a 2.9 and Elfette is a 3.1.
Whoa.
Three Ninjas is worse.
Christian Casimir.
Elfette was better though. Elfette was better than
Yes.
Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I actually had fun.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, we've watched it multiple times.
Do you remember that movie, Dylan?
Yeah. Beat for beat. Dewey out of costume. Sparkles catching that AK round.
Oh my god.
The pencil phone?
This technically doesn't count as.
That testicle torture they put Black Santa through. Remember when they unfroze all the elves to do a musical performance and didn't explain it?
I'm curious because we've just talked about like Three Ninjas, why it was the worst. Tom, why is Van Helsing terrible for you?
Notice how no one wanted to talk about Van Helsing at all? We immediately started talking about a different movie.
Yeah.
It is a fucking black hole. I didn't want to start talking about Three Ninjas. You can't pin this on me. This is Van Helsing. There is nothing to say about it. It is so fucking bland and boring.
Yeah, you do go into like a full shutdown of your brain. I don't know. Yeah, I got less out of that than like the Underworld series, and I think the Underworld series is unwatchable, this is trying to like emulate it, I guess. I don't know. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, because like werewolves are in there for no reason.
yeah.
Oh, every monster's in there for no reason.
Every monster, yeah.
Except Swamp Thing. He got the shaft again.
Yeah,
He was going to be in the sequel that we're still waiting for.
Any day now. Any day.
I say, oh man.
He's done with his X-Men Wolverine things because he's definitely not coming back in some sort of multiverse bullshit. So now we can get Van Helsing 2 finally.
Oh my God.
Would you guys rather watch a sequel to Van Helsing or another Three Ninjas movie? Remake, reboot, or sequel?
They are rebooting. I was talking to a friend about Three Ninjas.
No.
They are rebooting. They're rebooting it.
I'd rather watch Van Helsing.
Thus,
Oh no, I'd rather watch Three Ninjas.
Answer.
This three ninjas was the worst. The first one was nowhere. It was still stupid, but it was nowhere near this bad.
It's tolerable.
If they redid Van Helsing with a really dark and gritty aspect, like Adam, if they took like the Batman that you watched, but they made Van Helsing like that, would you watch it?
No, I pitched how you could say Van Helsing. You do a mini.
That's what I mean. So they redid Van Helsing like that. Would that be
Cast Vin Diesel as Van Helsing, call it The Last Witch Hunter, and then just release that. That movie was great, right?
Yeah.
Call
Perfect.
it Bram Stoker's Dracula, and then just don't actually follow the book, despite the fact that you've called it Bram Stoker's Dracula. You piece of shit, Coppola. Why would you name your movie that and then not follow the book?
My wife, she killed herself. Oh,
Bummer. Such a powerful scene.
Oh my God. Stupid plot changes he made. But anyway, I digress.
Again, anything to talk about anything other than Van Helsing, right? Thus, again, proving that Hugh Jackman is either the best of the worst or the worst of the worst. Thank you for coming to my
And by
TED
the way,
Talk.
Ghost Ship was not far behind those two for me either. I thought Ghost Ship was the most garbage shit movie. So boring.
I think...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But Dylan, it opens with Mudvayne and closes with Mudvayne.
Okay. The only difference. So here's literally the difference, Tom, for why I went. Actually, I still think Ghost Ship is worse than Van Helsing for me. But the Three Ninjas, I was actively yelling at the TV. I was so annoyed by everything happening. I couldn't keep that inside me. Whereas with the other two, I could at least internalize that rage and turn it inward, like a healthy thing to do.
Well, you kind of placed
But
it.
at least it engaged you.
That's the thing.
No engagement. Well, engage in rage. Engage with the rage. That's that should be the tagline for this movie. Engage the rage.
We'll get that T-shirt for you.
All I'm hearing from Tom is that he likes kid actors now.
You shut your fucking mouth. Don't you put those words on my... Oh, I'm engaging with my rage.
Next season, episode 1, Tom's going to watch Baby Geniuses and explain to it why it's so good. Or no, do you guys remember... Do you remember that weird fucking movie where it's all kids and they play like gangsters and instead of like shooting each other, throw like cream pies at each other? And it's like this weird...
What fucking fever dream is
a
this?
real
No,
movie.
I don't remember this.
I don't think that exists.
Okay,
Dylan.
talk about something else while I find this movie.
We'll just edit it so you were right there. So everything was just perfect.
Yeah, right. It's called Bugsy Malone, you fuckers.
Bugsy Malone?
Yep.
Never heard of that before.
I've never seen this. I know the name,
My God.
but...
It's got Jodie Foster as a kid. You've never seen this movie?
No.
No.
Yeah. It's like a 1930s gangster film noir drama, except it's all children and they don't shoot each other, throw pies.
So
at
it's
each
like-
other. It's ridiculous.
It's like Kids Bop.
Yeah, and it's a musical too. They do dance and singing.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I'd
that
be able to
sounds
watch
so good. Oh.
I know. We should do it next season.
Well, no one really disagrees, I think, with Van Helsing. They just think that Three Ninjas is
Yeah,
worse.
no, like
right?
Van Helsing was fucking
It's-
garbage.
Yeah, I think I could turn my brain off for Van Helsing. Like, it did run long, but I was able to like zone out. But like Dylan was mentioning, I could not do that with Three Ninjas because it was so frustrating. A lot of these movies you can just like check out and be fine when you come back in for like the last 15 minutes and understand what was going on. But Three Ninjas, it just set off another level of anger that Van Helsing didn't match. That's why it's lower for me. But they're
think
close.
Yeah.
But like Three Ninjas had like the acting was bad, the plot was bad, the setting was bad. Like everything about the movie just like checked off bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
At least Van Helsing had like one or two like semi bad, not like full bad.
Yeah.
Name them. Name those things.
The first 20 minutes fight scene in the village. That village fight scene, that was all right. I was entertained.
The one where Kate Beckinsale jumps into a tree.
Yeah, she
that
does a
whole scene.
backflip from a house into a tree upside down.
That was like the only scene I enjoyed that movie though.
okay.
Oh.
And Three Ninjas, I have none of those. Like there's no scenes in Three Ninjas. I was like, oh, that was fun.
You mean you didn't enjoy Grandpa's Death Warehouse?
No. I was more mad about the reactions of the adults for what the kids were like breaking the vases and stuff in the house. And she's like, oh, we won't do anything
Yeah,
about
that mom is dead inside.
she's
Yeah.
dead inside.
Yeah, we went over
Yeah.
that. We were kind of like, that mom, she drinks a couple bottles of wine a day. She does not react to her kids like, well, think about it. These kids have been kidnapped like 4 times. They've been like shanghaied over to Japan and had to like fight for their lives. So like she can't handle it anymore. So she's just checked out of reality.
checked out.
She's got a bottle of Ludes that she's been rationing out since the 80s. Just like, oh my God, they're running out. Oh, I'm going to have to deal with my shitty life. Oh, these fucking kids.
Another broken window.
Okay, so we've done the best, we've done the worst. Can we start getting down to some like specific scenes and things? Because I want to diversify this a little bit over the season.
I can't actually I can't believe none of us have mentioned Congo yet as either our first, our favorite or
Congo
word,
is
like,
great.
least favorite.
Don't you drag that movie down.
It's got mutant gorillas and people shooting them with laser beams.
I enjoyed it.
So passe.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Congo was weird though. It was like an hour and a half weird trek through the jungle, and then like a 10-minute temple
10-minute
scene.
thing where Laura Linney or Laura Dern or who I don't know.
One of the Lauras.
I forgot their names. Yeah.
Hold on.
You are forgiven for confusing that movie with Jurassic Park because they did their best to make it
Exactly.
look like Jurassic Park.
Congo had a great idea, but was poorly executed. That's why it was not on the top. For me.
List all the things that were great about the idea. Was it the ape fucking that really got to you? Or?
Well, Matt just mentioned.
Tickle Amy, give me vodka.
Oh yeah.
It's the lasers.
Yeah.
It's someone destroying gorillas with lasers. That's amazing.
It's
But
it's the beauty that is the crescendo of the movie, which is crystal laser psycho apes falling in lava. What do you want? Like that's the pinnacle of
it.
cinema. There's nowhere else to go above that. Also, there's that asshole ape who's like knocking all of his buddies into the lava and then leaps in himself. That saves the movie.
Yeah.
That scene alone.
Yeah, you know what? I'm changing my best movie to Congo. You convinced me.
I know. I think
Congo.
I want to change mine back to Congo now too.
oh no, guys. Oh no. Okay, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna throw out another movie that I think was my like close follow up for
What?
first.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you got to speak up, son.
I am.
Well, if you're gonna do that,
Am I cutting out again? Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. While Adam fixes his internet, I have a game that we can play. I've just pulled up the IMDb's of a few actresses here. I'm going to say a movie, and you tell me if the actress is Laura Linney or Laura Dern in that movie.
I don't know who either of those people are. Ugh.
You're gonna do very well.
Okay. Congo.
Laura Linney.
Linny.
Correct. Big Little Lies.
Dern.
Correct.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, now I know who Laura Dern is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You're in. Okay. Truman Show.
Linny.
Correct.
Laura Linney was in that.
Yes.
Yeah, she was the wife.
October Sky.
Dern.
Dern.
Linny.
Nope. Dern.
Ah.
As Good as It Gets.
No clue.
Dern again.
No, you idiots. It's Helen Hunt.
I knew it. Why was I thinking Helen Hunt was going to get thrown in here? Because she's just blonde and kind of looks like them?
Because they're all the same.
Okay, Dern is Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah. Dern is Jurassic
Okay.
Park.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the lady from Twister?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Helen.
Dave is proving
See,
our
you
point.
should have added Helen Hunt to the mix. Laura Linney, Laura Dern, or Helen Hunt. That's the new game.
Ready? As good as it gets.
Who was in Jumanji?
Oh, hold on.
Neither.
Wait.
Neither.
Linny.
Yeah.
Linny.
Neither. Yeah.
I think it was the other Hunt.
Sarah Whittle. Who plays Sarah Whittle?
Because there's Helen Hunt, but then there's also her sister.
Bonnie Hunt.
That's
okay.
the one.
Oh, my God.
I was not aware of the existence of Bonnie Hunt.
Okay, Adam, now that your internet is fixed, what was your point?
Oh, what was I talking about? Sorry.
That's what I'm asking you.
God
God.
damn it,
my
Adam.
God.
Oh, no, sorry. I think it was because you guys were talking about potentially changing your movies. I was just going to say that I had a close follow-up for my best movie that nobody has talked about yet, and that was actually Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Really?
Ooh.
I ranked that a lot higher because thinking about it and like going through my notes, it was such a fast movie. Like it was at an hour and 20 minutes. It was probably the shortest movie that we watched this season. And just the pacing of it really stood out to me. The over-the-topness, again, I think that's what's like making it work for me, and also just how evil some of those characters were and how hilarious they were.
Fire extinguisher scene. I can't get that out of my head every time I think of that movie.
Well, just think about this. Like, Dave, you're at a party in LA, right? And just, again, casual crystal meth laying out on the table for you to smoke. And then
Delicious.
you go back to the head bad guy's office, starts grinding up on you and just cuts your head off. Like, you don't see that now.
Imagine this. The Yakuza are about to fucking kill you and your girlfriend. And the only hope you have for survival is your buddy there who turns to you and goes, "You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man." And you're screwed. And you know at that moment you're going to die.
You're dead.
Because that's what he says to you in this moment of crisis.
They
And
lose
we
that
can't-
fight for the record too.
We can't.
So-
That bit went very well in the episode. So if you're really interested in
was
what the hell we're talking about, you can go back and listen to it because I'm not going to do the joke over again. But trust me,
Yeah. No.
we went
Look,
through
if-
all the greatest battle scenes in cinema history and inserted that line in, and it worked beautifully. So go consult that.
Right now, for Rohan, you've got a big dick.
But yeah, it was a fun ride. It was quick. It was just fun and entertaining. So Showdown was actually higher on my list than I would like to admit.
No one said Time Cop.
Fuck Time Cop.
Nobody likes Time Cop.
Because it's so vanilla. It sits right in the middle for me.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. We've seen Jean-Claude do those things. It's just a typical action movie. The funny thing is the ending where whose life did he ruin? Because that's not his son. That's someone else's kid. That's not his timeline. And he has to live with that now.
Who has the funnier son handoff? Jean-Claude Van Damme in Time Cop or Steven Seagal in Time to Kill? When he's just like, here's your son. He hasn't seen his son in like 10 years. And he's like, well, thanks, dude. Thanks for my son.
That has to be hard to kill, right? It's like, oh, you raised him? Cool.
Who the fuck's this guy? He's your dad now. But he's covered in blood. Yeah.
He just ripped that guy's throat out. Stay here, son. I've got to run around a mansion and write weird shit on the walls.
Did you read my signs? Yeah, we read your signs, Steven. It's so funny because right now Steven Seagal's all over the internet for like supporting Putin and shit, but also for being like the worst guest in SNL history because he wouldn't do anything because he doesn't have a sense of humor. Basically, they're like, Steven, it'd be so funny if you sang Kung Fu Fighting. Why would I do that? Because it's Saturday Night Live. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. How about I fight somebody? No, Steven, it's a comedy. Like, he couldn't wrap his head around comedy while hosting SNL. It's the funniest fucking stories ever.
That's amazing. And yeah, I don't doubt it at all.
No, of course.
Right?
I imagine him sitting the entire time as well.
Oh, yeah.
Never standing.
He's not gonna go.
These days, yes. Back when he was 35 and at the peak of his career, he would throw stuntmen to the ground.
Yeah.
Now, they just fall down around him.
Yeah. So I want to take this in a different direction. I want to get more into specifics, not just like best movie, worst movie. So I want to get into some specifics about plot, about acting, and about scenes. So the first thing about plot, I want to ask, what movie had the best plot that just fell short because of other factors such as cinematography, acting, and things like that? And what just had the worst plot that had no chance?
You know, I'm going to go ahead and say that Howard the Duck might have had a better plot than most of the movies, but it fell flat due to all of the insanity behind it. Just the bad actors. Like, that story could have worked where you have a stranger.
Explain the plot in less than 30 seconds.
Okay. A stranger in a strange place trying to get back home now has to face an interdimensional monster.
Would you call it a duck out of water story? I'll see myself out.
That is a foul joke. I think we did all this.
But like, no, just that premise alone, because you could play off of it where everyone likes that concept of a stranger in a strange place. They're out of their element. They don't know what's going on. So they're trying to adapt to this new scenario. But then also they're thrown into this crazy world ending event where you could go onto the scale of like a Lovecraftian monster. I think that would have played really nicely with it, but it's a duck. So
and they really leaned into the humor, like probably too much.
Yeah. Oh,
and the humor
too
sucked.
Much. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I put Howard the Duck. Probably could have.
Okay. Other nominations for a good plot that just got fucked other ways, or even a good plot that just was a
Prince
good
of
plot.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness, and it only failed because of John Carpenter's need for total control. Yeah. Someone should have stepped in and been like, no, John, you need to spend more than 10 minutes writing this script. And he's like, I'm busy with the lighting. I got my guitar plugged in over there. I'm going to write the script.
Yeah.
I just can't.
What if someone just helped John Carpenter? What if he had an assistant?
He needed a script doctor pretty bad.
Yep.
Because I think we pointed it out in the discussion. What it started out as was not what it ended up being. What it ended up being was a pretty typical possession monster movie. Mm-hmm. In the end, it had nothing to do with this whole quantum, all this other stuff it started off as, because I think he had less than 2 weeks to finish this freaking script. So he just fell back on some pretty standard tropes. Yeah. But it had potential. All of his earlier stuff has potential with Carpenter. You never know when he's going to strike gold. This just wasn't one of them.
Until 2002, when that era closed forever.
Very closely after this, I don't know exactly when, Mouth of Madness, he did it well. He did it much, much better.
Yeah.
So he's not out of it yet. He's still in the game. We're not at Escape from LA level here. Not quite.
Yeah. If no one has another one, I have one.
Well, we're going to go around. We're going to that maybe got failed on other aspects of the movie.
I think in the end, after we talked about it, I think Triangle was like on the right track.
That was mine too.
But
That's too.
Yeah. That's why.
Matt gave a giant fist pump.
Yeah, it was the best. That's why it was my favorite movie. Is that we did it?
The difference between Triangle and all the others is somebody had to write this plot like with a bigger picture in mind. Whereas I genuinely think every other plot we've read is like they went page by page and like kind of forgot the beginnings and forgot like things just get lost. This one they were really trying to make a coherent narrative. For some of us it worked, for others it didn't.
Just can't get over those fucking seagulls, man.
They had to put
Just can't do it.
I thought the plot was good.
They had to whiteboard it.
I think they needed to flesh it out just a little bit more, and it would have been good.
Okay, Adam, you had another one to add?
Yeah. And I know everyone's going to shout at me for this, but I'm going to say the latest Power Rangers.
You're a piece of shit. All right, we're going to Tom. Tom,
I never watched that one. I only had to watch the shitty 95
we talked
version.
about the 95 was good.
I think if they could have extended it out. They didn't need to cram everything in there with like Rita being the main villain, Goldar.
Wait, what is that?
Are you saying that Goldar shouldn't have been in the movie, Adam?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Rangers!
Go fuck yourself, Adam!
Goldar, please.
Goldar, you're such a fucking asshole.
I'm the most legitimate enemy the Power Rangers have ever fought.
But that's the thing, like, you need to slowly build that threat. And they didn't do it. They were just like, all right.
What is more threatening to Goldar?
But Goldar's like, he's up there. Rita's up there. Like, they're top tier enemies for the Power Rangers. So,
dude, they're nothing compared to Ivan Ooze. Nothing.
Nothing.
But I'm just saying the plot could have worked because I think they took the right approach with the teenagers becoming friends. They got to know each other. Like, there was a lot more effort there than the 95 film. So if they were to just focus on that for the first movie, do a small threat, them actually learning how to use their powers, don't use the Zords or anything like that. Just it's coming to age, would have worked out perfectly. But they crammed way too much in because they needed to get that return so they could make 9 movies, and that just it fell flat on its face and just flopped.
Did you just say that you want to watch a Power Rangers movies without the robots? Isn't that like half the battle?
Yes.
This guy ain't a Power Rangers fan. Fucking get him.
Fucking get this door.
You have to crawl before you can walk, rather than the
Whoa, is
other
that
way
Victor
around.
Wong?
And let me blow your mind. But yeah, no, they ran into it way too quickly with the Zords and stuff. I think it would have been a better buildup of them actually like getting their suits when they're battling this minor threat because they're getting the crap kicked out of them. Like you can see the consequences, you can see the stakes, rather than just like, all right, we'll get into the Zord and just defeat this giant monster in our town and nothing bad's happening.
Let me hit you with a question.
Yeah.
What do you remember fondly from the original Power Rangers? Is it the rich character development, or is it a guy in a rubber suit fighting fucking Zords assembled together?
But this is where I'm saying, like, the plot had something this go around where they could have started doing something new, started doing something fresh, and like flesh out those characters rather than, hey, big time action, use your guns, blah, 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 and then fight a monster. It's just like, I understand where Power Rangers came from, but now movies can start doing their own thing. You get the right director, they can have their vision and let them run.
Why is it that none of them do that ever?
Because of money, Tom. It's all about the money.
Confirmed communist Adam has just revealed his name. Tom, did we get your favorite plot? I can't remember because Adam had to have 2, of course.
Well, I'll just say I said Prince of Darkness, but maybe I could pull something else out of my ass.
Okay. Prince of Darkness. All right. Okay.
I thought you were going to say Van Helsing. I thought you were
It's got the best plot. What if Van Helsing was an angel, but also a werewolf, and he and Dracula were like good friends?
The next question is not what you expect. The next question is not what had the worst plot, because a lot of movies had the worst plot. What movie had the worst plot but got saved by some character acting, some acting that just turned this piece of shit into something that somehow you can watch? Because they're all pretty bad plots with like maybe 2 exceptions. I'll go first. Fucking Congo. 100% Congo.
Yes. I was going to say Congo.
I was on the fence with Congo.
100%
Yeah.
Congo. That stupid character, the Russian guy, had no business being a good character, but Tim Curry played him, so he was a great character.
Yep.
Sesame cake guy? That's
Agreed.
a nothing
Yeah,
scene.
I don't think
Oh
we'll
my
find
God.
a.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo. Love that guy.
Hippofax? Are you kidding me?
Hip. Oh my God.
Yep, it's a hit.
I mean, one of the guys who just gets pointlessly killed in the beginning of the movie is freaking Ash from Evil Dead. Like, the characters saved that movie. Not
It also had the best interspecies romance of any of the movies that we saw in this. This
really
season.
better.
It's very true.
Are you sure?
Hands
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor on Gorilla or Rockstar on Duck? What do you go?
Yeah. Doctor on Gorilla.
Okay.
Doctor on Gorilla for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They seemed like they had a much healthier relationship.
Really?
The gorilla
He
can
drugged
talk,
her
therefore it
multiple
can give
times.
consent. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But the duck could talk.
Howard the Duck's just an exploiting sort of pervert type character. You know, he's got very few redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
Well, let's broaden that question. What was the best love connection?
Ooh.
For the full season, it is coming down to this gorilla,
Showdown in Little Tokyo. That was the best love story.
Brandon Lee.
I mean, definitely not Kate and Leopold. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Well, name something else that was better than Kate and Leopold. Again, it
Bahubali.
wins by default. Okay, what about Bahubali?
He dances up a storm, and then he sits in a tree, and then she dances up a storm.
and they're in a ship that flies, the swan ship.
Yeah.
So
they make sweet love in the sky.
We don't know.
No,
that.
they just use their blue energy and their pink energy, and then they have a baby later. It's not sex, okay? You can't show that in a movie.
No, the answer actually is Kate and Lee.
Matthew, what are you saying? Don't you dare say it.
I said the answer actually is Kate and Leopold, but it's not Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman. It's Liv Schreiber and his dog.
Oh,
That's the best love story.
was a
Oh, yeah,
good-
he loves that dog.
Going back to bestiality,
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
True.
Wait, what about Bahubali?
This is
well, Dave was trying to make that point, but Tom shut him down. Like really hard.
because the best love scenes, the one that came to mind is when they're not interacting with each other.
Well,
right?
the answer is, of
looks-
course, Wolf Warrior, the guy and his commanding sergeant who he takes out on a date at
God.
the end.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, where he's on the Cubs, it's like, what do you think of the commander? He's like, I'd fuck that broad.
I will conquer her.
And then it just, yeah,
gets tased.
it was pretty good. It's pretty good, pretty realistic.
I actually forgot. we
I'm
did
glad Wolf
Warrior.
Warrior came up at least
I thought you were
once.
gonna say.
It's our movie.
Yeah,
we
I
have.
thought you were gonna say like the lead character in Wolf Warrior and the helicopter he was strapped to as he went just for a ride.
Oh, God.
He loved
Yeah.
that helicopter. God, they was having such a great
I've
time.
never seen a man happier.
I think I would have been the same way, though. We're going to strap you to this helicopter, and he's going to float through the sky.
Dave, we're
That'd be
gonna
great.
fly you around for 20 minutes. Go
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, that was no longer the character. That was just the actor. Like,
Yeah.
well, fuck, this is great. Having fun.
This was my dream to fly.
Whee!
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, Kate and Leopold was the only movie was the true romance movie that we did this season. But all the other movies did have like hints of relationships. I do think, I don't know, it comes down to the doctor from Congo and the gorilla.
Yeah.
You think the doctor and the gorilla had a better relationship than anyone else?
Any movie that we watch, yeah.
That's a bold statement.
It
Adam.
is bold, but
We're learning many things about you right now.
they cared about each other. He left the love of his life in that jungle when he sailed away in a hot air balloon. That's profound, Dave.
Did you realize he's like, the gorilla was like mostly his kid, right?
Whoa!
So not only is it bestiality, it's also incest.
We're learning lots about Adam
Oh,
this
man.
episode.
Hey man, 97% of the same genome. Okay.
What about our favorite? You know, we're big time gearheads over here.
Oh yeah.
At Grindhouse Courthouse.
Totally.
Love cars, especially Dylan. I know Dylan is very excited about the new ground effects regulations for the new F1 season, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about those new side pods in the Mercedes?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
It's going to be
Hope they
just
figure out that-
like when Indiana Jones's dad rode alongside him. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Boy.
Yep.
Action fucking.
So that's
packed.
why we should talk about our favorite modes of transportation. We got hot air balloons. We got trains. We've got what else do we?
Carriages.
We've got boats. We've got
We got the Bifrost.
We got the Bifrost. We got laser beams. We got
Megazord.
Megazords, yeah, and Mini Zords. Is that what they're called? I don't know.
No, they're just Zords, and then they
Regular
combine to a
Zords.
Megazord.
Oh, of course, clearly.
Completely average Zords.
Yes.
So what was your favorite mode of transportation? My personal favorite was the half a bicycle that Alice Cooper has in Prince of Darkness. That is just sitting in the middle of that alley, and he just casually picks it up and then stabs a graduate student with it. And then that's it.
Did we ever get to see him ride the bicycle?
No.
Well, you see the guy who gets impaled.
Yeah,
riding
that's the
bicycle.
thing. It's that cool scene. He just kind of floats
point.
and flops on top of it. I'm really waiting for that Prince of Darkness sequel. Maybe we'll see him ride it then.
I'm really
Any day
torn
now.
because on the one hand, I'm like, I like the cars from Time Cop where they just like glued some fucking aluminum to them. They're like, it's the future.
Look at that prop design.
On the other hand,
Glued shit to an existing
on
car.
the other hand, a fucking hot air balloon to end a movie. That's pretty good too. But of course, the winner has to be the fucking birds of Ivan Ooze who just fly through space to another planet. That's the best mode of transportation. Flying through space. And I don't mean like propulsion powered flying. I mean flapping wings flying through space to get to a destination. And that is by
They just hold their breath. It's fine.
And then when they arrive at the destination, they have a weird John Wayne accent.
Where are the Power Rangers at?
howdy, Pilgrim. That's actually another good answer for acting that elevated a shitty plot was Ivan Ooze was actually a really good actor.
Yeah,
Just
I agree with that
weird
one.
thing.
Only redeeming quality of that movie.
Yeah.
He was giving it his all because it wasn't Zordon, wasn't Alpha,
Rangers.
wasn't Tommy.
Rangers, he boomed me. That fucking Ivan. He boomed me. Transportation.
Best mode of transportation. A helicopter, again, from Wolf Warrior. Not that I want to keep mentioning Wolf Warrior more than once, but that looked like a lot of fun to just be strapped into a helicopter and just soar through the skies. I'd do that shit.
Oh, we can't overlook flying magical ship from Bahubali.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was going to go with.
The Love Boat.
That thing was magical.
The Love Boat.
And Megazords seemed like fun, too.
The frog ones, though, right? The animal ones that they had at the end, not the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They were too shiny. The CGI was too shiny.
Plummeting
The technology wasn't quite there.
off the Brooklyn Bridge. That's a form of transportation.
Yeah, getting to the end of your rope is like, I'm a fuck up as a scientist. I'll never invent anything. Time to throw myself off this bridge and accidentally traveling back in time.
I did it.
That's a cool way
I
to
invented
travel.
this. I'm an inventor. You didn't invent shit. You tried to kill yourself. No, I invented it. I'm a time travel guy.
Did he actually try to kill himself in the show?
This is much like
mean-
the Henry Fonda scene from Escape from LA. Was he doing this to die?
There's no way he did the math and was like, this is the only way I can reach 88 miles per hour.
But I thought it was, though. He had
chose
all the
death.
drawings. He's like, this is the point.
He did
then
that
he gambled
afterwards.
it.
Yeah, he gambled with his life, is what he did.
But he didn't go there to die, is what I'm saying. He didn't go there to kill himself.
Well, would you admit it afterwards? Afterwards, you're like, no, I totally knew I was going to go back to 1870. I knew that.
Look at all these complex calculations that I drew
What's
up
this?
by myself.
This note. Don't read that. Leave it. It's not for you. Don't read it. I said, I don't know. It's some fucked up shit in here, Liv. Shut up. Anyway, I think we're related. This is weird.
So, what was the best action sequence? And I think we'll probably all just pick shit from Bahubali 2. So do that if you must.
Oh, no,
but-
I won't.
Oh, you won't? Oh.
Yeah, when Dolph Lundgren's wearing a full-blown fucking kimono and has a giant, like a great axe or great sword, and he's fighting Shang Tsung. That's the best scene.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
In the parade at the very end?
And gets put on the spinner. Yeah. and the group of people start cheering for him.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no. Ninjetti corkscrew kick. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
right.
That was a good one, too.
Oi, oi.
Technique you can.
Yeah.
And if anyone says anything from Three Ninjas, we're done here. We're done.
Hard cut to credits.
It isn't amazing how Tum Tum could kick those grown men in the face when he's only 3 feet tall. Amazing.
I'm going to bring it up again. The back of the balls punch. That surprising. Never seen it in a movie.
What's that from?
That was Three Ninjas.
Oh God.
We're done here.
Back of the balls punch. What?
Yeah, Dave missed it. Well, unless he watched the movie. Did you watch the movie, Dave?
I watched it with you.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, we were all there.
Oh, man.
You were checked out pretty hard in that movie, though.
Yeah, you were there and you were watching.
Oh yeah, brother. Way down in Sacramento.
When we meet at SummerSlam, me and Zulu Nation. Oh yeah. Anyway, it was Hulk Hogan, not Macho Man.
Randy Savage. But we remember Macho Man Randy Savage a little fonder because he doesn't have that sex tape.
What about Wolf Warrior? There must have been some pretty good.
Okay, let's name them.
When they fight all the wolves.
The murder wolves.
Oh, man. We should. Yeah, I completely forgot.
Those were the last wolf pack in China, you fucker.
When they kept sending one guy after another to pick up the guys that keep getting shot by that sniper in the same spot without any covering fire or concealment. That was cool.
I didn't mind when he was running up to the sniper, when he was doing the zigzag patterns. I didn't mind that. I thought that was interesting. Also, the last fight scene where he's taking on evil Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
His name is Scott Adkins.
When they're shooting through the earth, the same spot.
No, not that part.
That part?
where they actually go hand to hand. I didn't mind that because like you can actually there's an impact to each kick. Like you can see him like, oh god, this is something new. This is a much more that fight scene wasn't too bad. That it's also blurring together with Wolf Warrior 2 for me now, which had some fun action scenes.
That fight scene had the Chinese logo or the flag, sorry, in his eyes.
Remember when he like gets kicked and he falls down and they just like had a guy holding him by the ankles and then like slowly lowered him into frame. That was a cool effect.
I like that one. Yeah, that was my favorite.
And just to further prove my point, no one mentioned anything from Van Helsing.
This movie's so stupid. Oh god, it's just so forgettable. That's why I can't pick it as the worst because like Three Ninjas made me actively angry. That one I'm just like, I watched that movie. Are you sure? And it just blends in with like all the other movies right about that time where you're like Underworld and like like the 9 other movies that are exactly like it. So yeah, it's easy to forget. The fight with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde stood out weirdly.
The first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. The first 5 minutes kind of.
Oh, because of the CGI was so bad, or
it aged better than fucking Power Rangers did. That's for
what are
sure.
you talking about? That was perfect CG. No problems there. No problem.
Dylan, you're not defending me.
You don't have to defend this anymore. This is not a Stockholm Syndrome situation.
Yeah. Like, did Brandon Lee even fucking fight in in Showdown? Like, I don't remember if he did.
He did, but like his style was no, he didn't even have a style. It was just kind of generic punching and kicking. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
And like I get that he's not going to have the same screen presence as Bruce Lee, but like would have hoped for a bit more.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the funniest scene. Ooh. What was the funniest goddamn scene in all of these movies that we watched? And there'll be a lot of candidates. So let's throw candidates out there and then we'll kind of like mull it over and then make a decision. So,
Bahubali, the first scene where we meet the evil stepfather or uncle or whatever he is, specifically because of this, the following line. You were denied the throne not because of your crippled hand, but because of your crippled brain.
Just cuts him down so hard.
That was the funniest scene.
That's going to be tough to top that scene.
And I don't know if it was the perfect way when we watched it, the way that the closed captioning rolled. It ends with crippled hand, and then your brain immediately says, they're not going to say crippled brain, are they? They're not going to say crippled brain. And then they do.
There's a long enough pause. Yeah.
He goes straight for it and just nails it. It's the best.
Okay. I'd like to offer mine. When the Wolf Warrior lands and after hanging from the helicopter, he has the most psychotic kind of like logical play words and like logical process where he goes, I hope you know that if you were actually a part of the Wolf Warriors, you'd be surrounded and we would have killed you. And then his response is, "Oh yeah? Well, if that's true, then I would have landed and you had time to dig in, you would have been traitors. And if you're traitors, therefore your ancestors are damned." And then everyone like basically it's like a your mama joke at that point, and they're like, "Oh." And that was the funniest scene.
Mine, I think. Oh fuck! I just had it, and then I got thinking about Wolf Warrior, and I lost it.
Oh no.
That's the problem with this, right? I feel like each movie actually had like one of those standalone moments where we had to like stop, rewind it a couple times, and then play it over and over.
Okay, I got one. So in Prince of Darkness, when Walter is getting pulled through the wall, and it's like, oh my god, everything is going so wrong for all of our characters. And then they just start chucking people out the fucking window, and it works every time.
Yeah.
The lady crawls through, and they're just like bricking her. Victor Wong is like, "These bricks will save us," and it works. And then they chuck her out the window too.
There's just so much pandemonium happening at that moment. Like there's people flying out the window. There's dumb blonde lady going, "Father, Father." There's Dr. Loomis going, "In nomine Patri Filii Sancti." It's like, he's a humanoid alien. Why are you still praying? God. It was just nuts at that moment. Great movie.
My laugh out loud moment was in Time Cop, where Jean-Claude goes back in time to the chip manufacturer, where he's seeing the evil senator or evil politician, and they use the liquid nitrogen on that one guy's arm, and he like kicks it off, and then as he falls to his death, he says, "Have a nice day." But it doesn't come across as ice.
Yeah, you want to take that one again, Jean-Claude? Nope.
No, I think we got it. I think it's good. I got to get back to my trailer and drink a lot.
How about Man Dick scene in Showdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Dolph Lundgren suiting up in Showdown?
Oh,
how about fire extinguisher scene in Showdown? Showdown was by far the most incompetently filmed movie out of the bunch, which is saying a lot because John Carpenter filmed a movie in 3 months. No, I think he wrote the script and finished filming in 3 months, and it's still by far not even close to as incompetently filmed as Showdown is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Showdown was a special brand of incompetent because like it wasn't as glaringly shitty as Three Ninjas, where it's like everything just felt cheap, felt like TV. Yeah. They filmed a movie, question mark. But they have lines like, "You've got the biggest dick you've ever seen on a man," as they're like, "We're gonna fucking die." And it's like, what's happening with my emotions? Where's the scene going?
Where should I be?
Yeah. I have to still wonder if that guy, if there's something fucky with the film that they intended the movie to come out as, and whether they like put it into like widescreen or change the aspect ratio so that otherwise so if you haven't listened to our episode or you haven't seen the movie, there's this scene in Showdown where Dolph Lundgren is chasing a couple bad guys, and there's this dude just sitting like in the corner, and he's supposed to be like basically next to a pipe that gets shot, and he sprays this fire extinguisher, but you can see the guy, you can see the fire extinguisher, you can see the whole scene unfold. And we were just kind of at a loss for words as to like, what the fuck is this doing in the movie? So I'm still not sure. I've heard of this where they film in one aspect ratio, like a smaller aspect ratio. So what would show up on the screen is not what you see now in like a modern DVD. Yeah. I hope to God that's the issue there, because otherwise I can't imagine how that made it.
I'm not willing.
We might be giving this movie way too much credit
to cut this movie that kind of slack. They fucked up.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another part of the movie that was like that where we saw someone?
Oh, I think you're thinking of Highlander when that dude just chucks a styrofoam boulder
up the wall.
He just starts pushing shit, and then he's like, "Oh, just squeeze in there," but you can still see him because he's wearing like a t-shirt.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see any guy chucking styrofoam stones out in that.
Also, because I don't think it even physically makes sense, because like doesn't one of them hit the wall with a sword and then the rocks fly inward?
Yeah.
He's that strong.
So strong.
He's that strong.
My God.
He's got the quickening or whatever.
Oh. Whoa, the quickening. Oh.
Quickening, I've got the thickening, if you know what I mean.
What about this? This is a one standalone funny line, throwaway funny line from Howard the Duck when Tim Robbins just randomly screams, "No sex now, I'm working."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Completely forgot to mention that
They're
during
about
that
to run
episode.
off to the nuclear power plant or something. It didn't make any sense at the time. It makes less sense now. But out of context is probably the best part of that movie, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Easily.
I think that was the only time
Easily.
we laughed. And Satan Sluts. Satan Sluts was pretty funny. Do we have any other topics for season 2 that we want to cover? So, gone through best, worst, transportation, action, comedy moments. Is there anything that else stood out for you this season that you enjoyed from the movies that we watched or hated?
Best jump scare or best scare in general?
Best scare in general, hands down, beans on ghost shit. You're eating some beans. They look real good, but then they're maggots. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's probably it, right?
Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of
I
horror.
think that's it.
It's between Ghost Ship and Prince of Darkness for our horror elements.
And
this
Triangle.
season.
Triangle was a little bit of a suspenseful.
True.
Triangle on the whole was spooky because it's like maybe you're stuck in a time loop and you don't know until you hit 65 and then you go back to like 13. And
Oh
you're like,
my
oh my
God.
God, I got to do it again. But,
What about Prince of Darkness when she opens her mouth and then somebody off camera has a super soaker that goes shh?
That somebody is John Carpenter. All right, now open your mouth, and I got a Super Soaker 50 here. And sprit.
just gonna give you a little spritz.
John, did you have to pump it up so much when you sprayed it in my face? The answer is yes. Yes, I had to really pump that one up. It was like 20 pumps. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Think the devil would spray you lightly? Think a devil would spray you lightly?
No, John, you're right. Okay, just not in the eyes. No, you're getting it in the eyes.
Take 30.
Hey, Alice, what do you think of this riff?
I think that's pretty good, John, but can we go home? No, not yet.
See, that's why those are the best movies, because you're just constantly trying to psychoanalyze John Carpenter.
There's a bit, we watched the behind the scenes where he's talking about some of the shots and whatever else. There's a bit where our hero lady, who has like no character presence, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, she jumps through the mirror dimension, and they did that by having her jump into a pool of water. And then to show that Cristo Domino, Father Detective, breaks the mirror and sacrifices her life to keep the devil at bay, they turn the lights off. And he was like, yeah, she was really worried because the lights were off. She had a lot of trouble with that. And he's smiling and like laughing about it. And it's like, John, that's not okay. You can't say that stuff. She was terrified. I was like, well, we needed the shot. What was I supposed to do?
Not film it.
It was my vision. She's my plaything.
All right, does someone want to do a fancy little wrap up for the season 2 ender?
Well, that about wraps it up for season 2. And our wrap up of season 2. We did it, everybody. Yay! We made it! Yay! Thanks for sticking with us.
Help.
For all these
I want to stop.
shitty movies.
Help me.
I'd like to stop too. So let's do it. Yay!
This is amazing. Like, a lot of money went into this production.
We've got boats.
What?
What fucking fever dream is this?
Dylan, time paradox, kill me.
Adam, your incompetence is driving me insane.
What was your point?
Oh, what was I talking about? Sorry.
God damn it, Adam!
What is happening? What is happening? Oh my God.
Are you saying that Goldar shouldn't have been in the movie, Adam? Go fuck yourself, Adam!
Who gives a shit about some motherfucking birds?
Is this building to anything?
Oh yeah, you were there and you were watching.
Yeah! Yes!
Oh yeah, brother. Way down in Sacramento.
All right, now open your mouth, and I got a Super Soaker 50 here. And sprint.
Time travels by jumping off a bridge.
Look, all of these things are ridiculous.
And I know everyone's going to shout at me for this, but again, casual crystal meth.
You're a piece of shit. All right, we're going to Tom. Tom,
My wife, she killed herself. Bummer.
Matthew, what are you saying? Don't you dare say it.
No sex now. I'm working.
Matt, you're supposed to kill the other 4, and all you've been doing is making out with your body double this whole time.
I need to explore this.
Yeah, they make sweet, sweet love in the sky.
It sounds smart.
Didn't make any sense at the time. It makes less sense now.
You're eating some beans. They look real good, but then they're maggots. Whoa!
Rangers, he boomed me. That fucking Ivan.